Let's talk to Nick Freeman, who's a lawyer and can help shed some light on all of this. Nick, thanks very much for joining us. Where does the responsibility lie? I mean, as a driver, to make sure that your account is working and validated, or with one of these companies?
Well, it initially lies with the company, the new provider, but it's not exclusively with the provider. Obviously, there's been technological problems. There've been problems with vehicle identification, and there's been problems with the validation of the accounts. And the new provider has to ensure that the account has been validated before they can take a payment. So they've sometimes sent out emails. Many of those emails haven't arrived. They've gone to junk. So there is something like a million people have had accounts who have said they haven't received any notification, and they just assume we've got accounts, there's money in the account, so the payment will automatically be taken out. But the point is, there is an appeal procedure in place, and if you have what are called a bona fide appeal, you make a representation within 28 days, and it's been shown that the chances are very good. If you have a genuine case, it's very likely you will succeed. Approximately a third of all appeals have been successful. So if it's a genuine...
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Sorry, if I could just come in there. You mentioned the 28 days period. What struck me about this story, though, is that, you know, these journeys may have done months before and you don't get the fines through until later. So how does that work?
It doesn't work, and this is the problem. So, you know, people have amassed sometimes hundreds of tickets without being aware. You know, in a road traffic case, most road traffic cases, you receive a notice of intended prosecution within 14 days. Bizarrely, there's no similar legislation in place here. There definitely needs to be. In this case highlights the urgent need for the government to introduce this. So at the moment, a ticket can be issued months and months later, and that still is compliant with the legislation. And that's one of the big roots of the problem here. So people may get tickets now for journeys that they've made several months ago. If they do, don't bury your head, appeal it, make representations. The chances are, with evidence, you will be successful. If you just simply ignore it and hope it will go away, it won't, and it'll end up costing you more money.
Okay,
and you need to appeal it quickly. You've got 28 days.
Brilliant. OK, so just to be very, very clear then, anyone sitting at home watching this with a fine that they think is unfair, appeal it.
Appeal it with all the evidence, all the evidence, whether it's a number plate, whether you had an account that already had money in but it hadn't been validated. You provide evidence of that account, evidence that you did the trip, and that you haven't received an email, and your appeal will succeed.
Thank you.
You'll be asked to pay £2.50.
Right. Really good to hear from you. Thank you very much for clearing that up for us. Thank you very much.
Okay.